Choo choo! All aboard the top of the league train. Leeds United head to Stoke on a cold, foggy night. Get the job done. 2-0 winners. Get out of there and on to the next one against Derby County. A real professional performance today. Gotta say, I can already see a couple saying that was, not too good. I highly disagree. In this division, especially against teams like Stoke and what they put out today, I think that was a real professional performance. Could we have won by more? Of course we could have. But you know what? We've got the 2-0 win, top of the league. Let's move on to the next one. See you later. Bye, bye, bye. No. That's not all, people. But listen, like the video as you come in, or if you're watching a replay, and of course, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you to Prosa, John Abbott, Dave Rogers, Benny Hawkins, Philip Hartley. Big shout out to you for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. Big up for that support, and salute to all my existing members. Marcus here saying very important away win. It was in so many ways in terms of the game today. By the way, the visibility for this game, I don't know how much we can actually talk about it because I don't know about you guys, but I could hardly see anything. There was like a portion of the game for like maybe the 15th to 25th minute where it went clear. The second half, I mean, I was like this, like, who's that? Who's that? I could barely see anything until they put the replays on. But yeah, and Ian, this is what I want to highlight, man. And we'll go into this when we speak about the lineup that we had and some of the trepidation that I saw amongst fans when we had the lineup announced. But Ian saying here, some really crap teams in this league. This is why I talk the way I talk about this league, and it won't change. It will not change. The teams in this league are garbage, hot garbage. And that's why when we rotate a couple of players with some of our, even people that are on our bench to come into the starting 11, they are still better than a lot of team starters in this division. It's not even close either. When we're comfortably 2-0 up and we can bring off Solomon and James and bring on Ramazani and Nanto, yeah, we are superior to a lot of teams in this division. And that's just the way it is. We just have to make sure that we snap that authority on each and every game, which we are more than capable of doing. But this was a real good performance away from home, especially in light of previous away performances. And listen, with the weather and the team lineup, there was potential for this one to be a sticky one. Not going to lie, this could have been sticky, but it was comfortable today. Stoke hardly had a touch of the ball. Got to say as well, the Stoke fans at the minute, and I don't know if anyone else like caught this, or maybe it reminds you, but it reminded it for me. They sound a lot like how we did back in like the McDermott, Warnock, Darko Milanic era. That era of just absolute nothing football where you're not going to get relegated, but you're also not going to be in the playoff picture. So you're just floating around the championship doing absolutely nothing. It reminded me of that. There were so many things about that Stoke thing, about like the empty seats. And then when they finally had a shot on target after the first minute, hey, we've had a shot, ironic cheers. It reminded me so much because that's unfortunately when I had a regular season ticket, and what a time to have a season ticket, by the way. But it just reminded me of that era. So don't know what's going to happen with Stoke, but it really did remind me of that. Michael Schmidt didn't do enough for me when he came out 90 plus minutes. Buck up Isaac. Hey, he needs to chill, man. He's almost reaching 90 minutes played in total for this football club. He needs to calm down a little. All right. He's getting a little excited there. James here saying good win, light work. Absolutely. That's what it was today, James. Even with the visibility stuff for us, I mean, apparently down at pitch side, it was a lot clearer than what we could see, but it was just an easy game. And when you go to the lineup, people, hands up if you had any trepidations about this lineup when you first saw it before the game was kicked off. Because I saw a whole lot of people, oh my God, Tanaka's out. I've already said, people, when Ampadu is fully fit and ready, he's coming back in. And with Pascal Strout ready to play this game, and what an easy game for Pascal to come back in, by the way. It was Ampadu to come back into midfield. It was always going to happen. I said this, even though Rothwell and Tanaka have done well together, Ampadu is always going to come back in when he's fit. And I don't know if it means Rothwell's going to sit out the next game against Derby, Tanaka and Ampadu go, or maybe he goes Rothwell, Tanaka again. Who knows? The point I'm trying to make, though, is that any one of those combinations in this division is good enough to beat teams in this league. It's more than good enough. It's easily more than good enough. That's why I didn't have so much trepidation about that. The one thing I did have a little question mark about, though, was Peru up front. And boy, Peru, he did his stuff today. Could have scored that header in the second half. That was one where I had to see the replay to see who actually did head it. But I thought Peru today, good stuff from him, and more than likely he keeps his place in the next game. Let me just get the super chats in. Hyru here saying most important game of the season in his opinion. Test pass now do again against Derby County, and to Isaac Schmidt, you deserve better, bro. Okay. And Mr. P chiming in here, no Peru, no party. Great result, especially as we are now top. Yeah, we'll see. I want to talk a little bit about the Sheffield United Burnley one in a bit as well. Yeah. James here saying this was a game for some players to get some rest. Yeah, we're gonna have to rotate people. That's another thing. Even if Dan James comes out in the next game and say Solomon or Nanto, no, not Solomon, Ramazani or Nanto come in, it's a good swap to have against Derby County, who they may be in decent form, but I've already said we've got to be the outlier to everyone's decent form. Everyone should be able to play well against a whole host of teams in this league, but when they come up against this Leeds United team, that's where the form has to stop, and that's what we've got to impose on everybody. Yeah. Nine goals now for Peru. Yeah, he must have heard the last stream, man, where Dan James and Brendan Aronson are creeping up on him. Well, Peru just said, yeah, he's two more. Gotta say as well, for his first goal, I didn't know it went in because I don't know about, again, I don't know what you guys were watching on. And listen, if you was watching on the stream, that wasn't shall we say, the credible means, shall we say, I feel sorry for you, man. You must have been just thinking you was in a sauna, because you wouldn't have seen nothing. Because if you didn't see hardly anything on a real stream, then boy, oh boy, that would have been tough for you. But I thought, I don't know where the ball went, but then when you see the finish, I love that kind of finish, man. Just no time for placing, no time to pick a spot. Just hit that thing, smack that like Akon, and it was a good finish into the roof of the net off the bar. Love it, absolutely love it. Max, you're speaking my language. Props to Peru. Bogle was my man of the match, though. Max, you're speaking my language. I know Peru got man of the match today, and that's usually what happens when strikers get goals. And salute to him. Good for that as well. By the way, we've been getting goals from wingers, defenders. Today it was our striker that stepped up for us today, which is great. Getting goals from all avenues, all sources. Long may it continue. But for me, Jayden Bogle was sensational today. Like really, really good. And if it wasn't for a couple of our final decision making from Dan James and even was it Peru or Aronson? It was somebody where Jayden Bogle was running through the middle, and all he needed was that little knockback, and he may have been on goal for him, a goal himself, and his numbers could have increased today. I thought Jayden Bogle was absolutely brilliant down the right hand side today. One outlet for us today, and he set Dan James up so many times in that first half. I lost count of how many times Jayden Bogle helped out Dan James there. Yeah, Mike saying Bogle's flying. Love to see him tuck it in as well. Yeah, and Michael here saying Dan James another assist. Yeah, he's just racking up the numbers, man. Racking up the numbers. Marcus out here. My fire stick made it look like Snoop parked his tour bus outside the stadium. Tremendous. But that's what I was thinking. I was literally thinking it when I was watching. I was like, people that watch it on those like alternative method streams, you're gonna have a hard time today, man. But boy, Paul here saying Bogle made some clever runs as well, looked great bombing forward. Yeah, he was brilliant today, really, really good. And for me, it doesn't always have to cap it off with a goal or assist, although that would have been great for Jayden. But he was heavily involved in the second goal, wasn't he? It was his pass that found Dan James, that then found Peru, and that was game over. And listen, yeah, he was just, for me, Jayden Bogle was just outstanding today. Absolutely. Mr. P saying, I'll take your word for it, KG, regarding Bogle. I couldn't see a thing. SJ44 saying Bogle gets us up the pitch. He does. And that's what he's got to do. When you've got Sam Byram in there, who is predominantly more defensive, you need your other fullback to be the one that goes forward, and he's perfect for that. I mean, you know me, people, I don't like heat maps or any of that, but his touch map kind of told the story today, because he was basically like another winger. He's basically playing next to James at some point. So yeah, absolutely brilliant, man. Everyone looked great in the fog. It's funny that I've been on as I always say, when you win, it doesn't mean everyone's played well. When you lose, it doesn't mean everyone's played poorly. But I actually think that overall, I mean, Brendan Aronson was heavily involved for the first goal, which is quite funny as well, because we've been talking about Brendan Aronson, Peru away from home. Well, they kind of linked up for that first goal, didn't they? But I thought, apart from that, I thought Brendan's game wasn't really doing much. But then again, there was a lot of fog. I don't know. Maybe he was better than I thought. But yeah, you don't need everyone to be on an 8, 9, 10 when the rest of the team is performing as well. That's what I'm saying. You can always get away with a couple of players not being up to their usual levels or usual standards. And you can get away with that. But yeah, I thought Aronson was okay. Thought Solomon, there was a couple of he had one big chance. Solomon had to score that. I don't know what he was doing there. That should have been another assist for Dan James today. But apart from that, Solomon in the second half he did cook a little bit more, but it was as influential as it was in the game against Oxford. But I hope he does get another run out against Derby if he's fit. What about fog maps? They need to put one out. It was ridiculous today, absolutely ridiculous. All foggy, aren't we? Yeah. Hyru here saying even in watched it on Paramount Plus here in the US, it was difficult to follow. Yeah, it was mad. Matt C saying need to talk about Aronson away from home again. Invisible man. Yeah. Listen, I don't know about invisible, but I just felt that there wasn't as much influence from Brendan today. But again, it doesn't matter when other people are stepping up to the plate and making that making their performance count. And you can take someone back. It's when you've got a team full of threes where you need other people to step up. But it was a real solid away performance. They Stoke guys, they didn't do anything today apart from the first minute. And listen, I don't know if you're supposed to get. I guess you have to give Melia credit for the save at the start, but the thing was right at him. But as we've seen in previous times, that doesn't really matter. Sometimes it goes under or through him. But shout out to him. He made the save in the first minute to keep the score at 0-0 after we started a bit slowly. Listen, the first 10 minutes of the game, we weren't up to it, but he makes the save and we stay in it, and then from there it was just pure domination. But apart from that, Stoke didn't offer anything today. Absolutely, just so poor. And you just think, man, back to the days of Stoke. Damn, that's a harsh lesson. Again, that's why it reminded me of us, because around that time, what was that, like 2011, 2012? Maybe that's like 8 years after relegation or something like that. You're thinking, man, we're still Leeds United of some sort, and we're near it. And that's where Stoke are right now. Michael here. KG, does it not worry that the three promoted teams in the championship now occupy the bottom three places in the Prem? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Michael. And somebody made a comment like this before about, and I always find these things baffling when people say stuff like this. It's just as well we didn't go up. It's just as well we let Southampton go up, because we would have got battered. How do you know what we would have done in the market? We are not Southampton. You know what I mean? You don't know what we would have done. Now, granted, if we have kept the majority of the team and not added to it, then yes, there would have been something to worry about. But I highly doubt a partnership between the 49er Enterprises and Red Bull will see us have to sign the kind of players that Southampton and Ipswich have. I highly doubt it. And I hope I'm proven right with that. I really do. Otherwise, we will be in trouble. But absolutely not. You don't know what you're going to do when we go back up. And I do feel like the 49er Enterprises would have learned a lot of lessons from the last time we went up. And we're a bigger club with a larger bracket to spend money as well, by far. It's not even close. So no, I don't worry about that kind of thing. But you just have to get recruitment right. That's what I would say, Michael. Yeah, Darren here. Yeah, you need to recruit well in the Prem, no room for error. Yeah, and it's like, again, it's like when I said when we went up last time, it's not about having to spend 20, 30 million on every single player. You just don't have to do that. But what you have to do is get your scouting network absolutely correct. Go and find those gems as well as those proven players, or experienced players, I should say, and then add it and mix it up together. Because if you go down one path, it's very sticky for you. It is. But I feel like we'll learn our lessons. I really will. I mean, exactly, man. I mean, what we can attract compared to Ipswich and Southampton, even Southampton. Yeah. Let's have a look here. Get Peru on the £5 note. Oh my God. Yeah, Marcus, exactly. If you want to look at the bottom three, you look at another example. Look what Forest are doing. I don't know if they're going to finish in the Champions League or even the European places, but they're giving themselves one hell of a chance, aren't they? A lot of Forest this season is reminding us, and here we go, people, take a drink. I'm about to mention it, like our 99-2000 season where we made the Champions League. you know, where we're punching above our weights. Everything is just gelling together. We've got the right amount of experience as well as talented youngsters, and it comes together. You just don't know. But if you can recruit right, and even Forest in their first season back, by the way, they got Kayla Navas in goal. That's what I expect Leeds United to do, not sign Aaron Ramsdale's or, you know, Jordan Ayew's and all these guys. No, I feel Leeds United will be playing on a different plane compared to other people. But listen, yeah, Brogel is brilliant. Yeah, let's go back in. Let's go back into our game. We got to get there first, people. We got to get there first. Just trying to think if there's anything else from the game. I'm really having a hard time remembering anything specific. By the way, people, this is the table as we are today. I, I don't know what anyone was hoping for with the Burnley Sheffield United result, but for me, I would answer this. Um, I didn't care what happened in that game as long as we get what we need to do done. For me, it doesn't matter. Sheffield United at the minute are losing these big games, but as we saw last season, we won these big games. We won the bigger games against Ipswich, Leicester, and we still didn't go up. It's about taking care of business in all these other games, like your Stoke aways, upcoming Derby away. That's what we've got to do. Concentrate on ourselves, and we'll be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Form's looking great, Andres. Yeah, it's looking absolutely brilliant. And that's what I've been asking for. Just get some consistent run of results in without any losses. Because, again, I'm sorry, when you look at the rest of this league, it stinks. I mean, it just absolutely honks. And if we do what we're supposed to do, we should be taking points in nearly every game. Now, I'm not saying we're going to win every game. I'm going to say we're not going to lose a couple more, but I expect us to get more wins on the board than losses, you know, overall in a bigger sequence, if that makes sense. Fuck it. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I mean, that shouldn't even be a conversation, PB. Let's have what we saying here. Oh, I've got something here. Ming with a super sticker. Thank you, Ming, for that. John Knox here with a super chat. Thank you, John. Very generous, man. Does anyone know what happened? Did we win? Tremendous, tremendous. Yeah, John, we definitely won. Tremendous joke. Let's go. And Darren here, exactly. Just keep winning and we can create a gap. And this is what I'm saying. And this is for all the people that I haven't seen you lately. I'll be real. I haven't seen you guys lately, but for all the people that think that this team isn't good enough to do the top two, which absolutely blows my mind. What is it that you don't see in this team that can derail it? And I already know what Chris King is going to say. He's going to say Farker. I know what he's going to say. But I'm saying when you look at this squad player for player, there is nothing in this league that we should be afraid of. And I even watched the Sheffield United Burnley game earlier. Not gonna lie, the first half an hour was a bit dry. Not gonna lie, it was a bit dry. But Burnley, Chris Wilder seems to be. I'll say this: he seems to be overthinking these games against the better teams, and I don't know if that's going to be his undoing. But yeah, Burnley just a solid away performance. By the way, Josh Brownhill again, and it's something that I wish our central midfielders would do. It's just get round the back and smash it. You know, our midfielders, whether it be Tanaka, Rothwell, they all seem to be, it's so robotic. They're either on the edge of the box or they step 5 yards into the box and have to pick a spot and shoot. Josh Brownhill today, he just went round the back, tucked it in near post. And I wish our central midfielders could be a bit more fluid like that, but we don't play in that way under this system. We don't. It's like long build-ups and everything else like that. But listen, Burnley, Sheffield United for me are still our main threats. Burnley, I think Blackburn and Sunderland drew today. Yeah, they did. They had a 2-2 draw. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. And listen, big pause on that. Get round the back and smash it. Did just realize what I said there. Absolutely. Ming saying here, Wilder overthinking, thinking about Ham more like, oh, Ming, come on, man. But listen, God. Scott here saying Farker won't let them get forward. Yeah, that's what I mean, Scott. We do play a different system in terms of that. And I even looked at the strikers today in a couple of other games. I've been watching football pretty much all day, and we just don't play. I know Peru got 2 goals today, which is great to see, but we don't play like to our strikers. We just play more of a team game. The build-up is more width to width rather than trying to find the strikers at all times. And yeah, that's why we don't have. I mean, Peru's now on 9 goals, which is great. But I feel like he could be on a few more. I do. I feel like he could be on a few more if we were just allowed to create for our strikers a bit more. But yeah, I don't know when we're going to get, because Brownhill's on 8 goals himself. So at this pace, he's going to score more goals than our midfielders combined. But listen, as long as we get up in the top 2, I honestly don't care. I honestly don't care at this point. Let's just go up, please. Ruben in that Ruben, man, it's been a long time, man. What you saying? Thank you for the super chat, Ruben. KJ, I'm back. Been too long, mate. I feel like when Raman, Nanto, and Mateo are on the attack, it looks more lethal in my opinion. Quick and fast. I like to see that front three with BA get after it. Geez, that's a lot of attack there, Ruben. Who's coming out then? Who's coming out? I have thought about Aronson in the 8, but I don't want to overcomplicate things and put another central midfielder in there. He's not leaving that 10 spot. He's not. Yet again, another start for Brendan Aronson. He's just racking them up. He's the one constant in the team, isn't he, at this point? But yeah, listen, man, Ruben, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. What are we saying? Matt C. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, listen, people. I wouldn't take any of the Burnley team in our team. Absolutely not. I wouldn't take any of them. You just have to go with what is a strong squad at this level, and measure it against yourselves. Because I still think that Burnley, Sheffield United are our main competition. But yeah, I wouldn't take any of Burnley's team in ours. Absolutely not. Not for me. No. Not even Trafford. No. We need to get a real man in goal. Real men. It's time. It's time for a real man in goal. The thing is, Michael saying only Brownhill. The thing is, he's like 31, isn't he now, or something like that? Can you imagine signing him as one of your main midfielders in the Premier League? And this is what I'm talking about. What people don't think about is when you're going up to the Prem, you need to sign better players. And Josh Brownhill, if we come back in the summer and we're saying, wow, we've signed Josh Brownhill on a 5-year contract, I will know where we're heading when that season finishes. I will absolutely know where we're heading. Oh, you mean in the Championship? Yeah, Burnley aren't going to release him to us. But okay, I got you then. Godfrey saying here, wonderful Christmas present. It is, absolutely is. It is. But yeah, listen, people, I don't think there's anything else. I actually don't think there's anything else. Scott here saying Joseph actually looked pretty sharp in his 10 minutes. He did. He had one like half opportunity, but again, yeah, he's trying to get playing time. But Peru's not going to make it any easy for him. You know what I'm saying? Peru is here, top scorer. He's saying, "This is my spot. Try and take it if you can." And you know, Joseph's having to take scraps right now. Yeah, we did have Conor Roberts last season, but we was also in the Championship. If we're talking about going up to the Prem, that's a whole different conversation, Michael. Absolutely. Ruben here, work life's just been a struggle. Okay, yeah, got you, man. Listen, life gets in the way. Don't worry about it, Ruben, man. Nice for you to lock back in. Yeah. Good to see you. Carly Osho, is this because he scored against us this season? He's okay, but he ain't no. This is what happens though. When players score against us, man, you guys. You put them on a pedestal. But listen, we've won 2-0 away from home today. Great result, top of the league. What more can you ask for? Next up is Derby. Guys, I will be back before that game, before a preview, probably for another video as well, man. If I can remember anything else, see what Farkas said and everything else like that. But listen, people, that is it. I hope you've had a good Christmas and everything else like that. But now we're on to the next bit. Leeds United go top, 2-0 win at Stoke, who stunk. And listen, people, that is it. Like the video before you go. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.